floor with my ghouls. They look so dumb, they're so uncool. I'm just kidding, they're pretty sweet. My skeleton crew, they're so elite. My ghouls are the best, they're kinda nice. If you met them, you'd say, what a surprise. They're just misunderstood. I say misunderstood, yeah, in every way. Now everybody dance, the skeleton dance, the Reaper King dance. Now everybody dance. Crew, they're so elite. My ghouls are the best, they're kinda nice. If you met them, you'd say, what a surprise. They're just misunderstood. I say misunderstood, yeah, in every way, yeah. Now everybody dance, the skeleton dance, the Reaper King dance. Now everybody dance.
Hello, welcome back to a new day. Ow. Alright. That's not great, but grab that. Alright. A shoe. Alright, boo. That sucks. A lion. No. Blue box. Pump. Nope. No. 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 Damn. Nothing. Nothing. Alright. What are we doing?
What brings you here
It's
this time?
Seth, right?
Need help? Call me anytime. A mission? Take me along.
Trigger. Pump. There we go. Tin Master. Let's go over. Double electric. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum.
An opening. Careful. Inadequate. cliff.
Move it. I'll take you. Out of my way. I'll take you. Move it.
Let's make this quick. Cycle of yin and yang. Don't underestimate me. Take this.
That's a pose. That's a pose right there. No, it's just.
I'll take you. Move it.
They just won't quit.
Out of my way.
What a nuisance.
I'll take you. Out of my way.
An opening. Next cycle of yin and yang. Gather. Take this.
Do I use the 80? I guess yeah. Let's just do that. Do that just to get it out.
Allow me. Let's make this quick. An opening. What a nuisance.
Oh, for Lord Satan!
Inadequate. Obliterate.
There we go.
Spirit.
Just fucking shredded. Alright, there we go. Pub. Alright, put that back on. So. Alright.
I can help you ward off misfortune and disaster.
A mission?
Seth.
Take me along.
Grab that. Alright. There we go.
If you need help, call me anytime.
Alright.
A mission? Take me along.
Grab that. Grab that. Oh. What's that? Let's go to collect the catch. Do we get lucky?
Let's go at our own pace.
Oh, we probably should just fit, because I want to get this stuff done. Nope. Of course.
A bountiful haul.
Alright. I mean, we don't got much else to do. It's like, literally, that would be it. Because we don't really have much else to do.
Got one. It's starting to slow down.
Maybe next time? No, we're doing it now.
Focus.
I'm getting tired. I mean, like, we really have nothing else really to do. So I'm gonna try to get this fishing done.
Got one. It's getting tired. Focus. I got something. That was heavy.
So how are you doing today, Chris?
Got one.
Come on.
Time to
Come on, just give it to me.
fishing skills.
Why? You're so close. God damn it, man.
Focus. I got something.
Hope you're having a good Tuesday.
Get ready. Got one.
You gotta have energy in the game. You can always tune the characters. I mean, true. Well, I don't, though.
Get ready.
Oh, wait. Fuck. Ow.
Holy moly. This one's
Ugh.
heavy.
I just... that hurt. I did it. Well, except everyone was choking there. I had an alright day. Work was like, okay. My head boss is gone. So, for the week or whatever, so... it was actually nice and pretty chill. I wasn't getting like, haggard or nothing to do, like, shit. So it was nice.
Focus.
And I'm going... like, I had to tell them and everything that I'm going away this weekend. So they're gonna have to find someone to cover for me.
Starting to slow down.
Although I don't have much faith that he's going to remember. And then I'm probably gonna get a call on Saturday, like, hey, where you at?
Got one. Give it all you've got. Focus. I got something.
I always use, like, all the energy, so it's not like for, like, the daily stuff. It's not really.
Get ready.
When I get, like, all the characters on this, I feel like I'll be, like, tuning more so. Because almost the other characters are good. See, now bosses are a harsh reality. I mean, she's not in it. She's like not that much. She's probably in her like 30s. I don't know how old she is. Like, she's not. I used to have an old lady as a boss,
Get ready. Got one.
but now it's like a young-ish lady It's just that like when you have people that work for like the company or whatever, and like they like, oh, it's like we need to follow the rules. And I'm like, yeah, but your rules are bullshit, and they go against how we've been doing shit
Get ready.
and how it works.
Got one. It's time
But
to slow down.
because it's not of like, oh, by the math this should work. I'm like, yeah, but we load packages and you're doing with humans. You can't go by the math.
It's getting tired.
It's just that each day is different. Like you don't have like the same packages every day. Like you'll get shit that's like very heavy or very light.
This might be something really rare.
So it's just annoying when they like just don't like let us do what we do, and like it usually works out. And there's like certain people that you need to go help.
Get ready. I got something. It's a subspecies.
Oh.
Not bad. Got one. Yay!
Ba, 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 ba.
Something. Focus. Got one. Holy moly! This one's heavy.
I mean, we don't have like much really to do in the game right now. There's like one more event, and then it's just waiting for the next
Getting tired.
part of the story.
Focus. Got one. It's starting to slow down. Get ready.
How's the gun shop been?
It's getting tired.
God damn it! I don't need you. I need the other one.
Focus. Got one. Yay! Get ready. I got something. Focus. Got one.
Sales went up thanks to me. I think my boss is happy. I mean, you would hope that would make your boss happy, right? It's like-
I got something. It's starting to slow down.
you know, because you know what? For what it's worth, I think literally I would feel better buying a gun from like a veteran. I feel like places like gun stores should primarily like hire veterans or whatever. Because like I don't know, to me like I think I would feel more like reliable and like I don't know, like comfortable knowing like that I'm not getting like ripped off, or like they're not trying to sell me like a bad gun, or like like a gun that I wouldn't like.
Got one. It's starting to slow down. Get ready. I got something. It's getting tired. Focus.
It's like,
I got something. It's starting to slow down.
how does it feel to live in a country without mandatory military service? It's pretty. I think it's pretty good. You know what's for what it's worth? I kind of feel like we should.
Get ready.
I think it's good and bad.
Got something.
I think that I can from what I think
Nice job. Focus.
I kind of like. I think it's so hard because like I think partially like it's beneficial to have it, but also I also see it as I see it that it not so much works for the U.S. because of how large it is. It's very mature, makes you become a man, and gets you a brain at a young age. I mean, yeah, I think that's what's failed a lot of people, and why we have like.
Do you require rest?
So like, look at the U.S. now. You have young people or like older middle like people that never served or whatever, literally saying like fuck the troops, blah, like they like people that are so against the military and the soldiers and that have literally died to protect them because they don't understand. They've never been through it and they have no empathy and no understand like and they've taken for granted the lives that sacrificed for themselves. Like me, I've never served. My grandfather served. Like he was a naval man. And like, but even with that, I still have massive respect for the military because I understand my freedom only becomes. And partly, I kind of wish we had mandatory service because right now I went to school and all this other shit, and like I don't feel like my life has gotten any better. At least, like with the idea of the military, you felt like your life had purpose. Like even with mandatory service, like you got strict training. You like when like you had a right mindset. You learned to work inside of a team. You learn to love your country by serving in it. And like, for what it's worth, a lot of military people will say like it gave them purpose. They felt like they had a purpose when they were serving, even if later on it fucked them up. Like I know plenty of military vets that are fucked up. One of my best friends is like he's a military vet, and like he still has anxiety and shit from everything. But I can also see like the goodness of like a place like America that can have that option that you don't, because some are like like any of the EU countries, they are too small to not have, because they just don't have the population per thing to be able to fight. Like the reason why the U.S. has such a fucking massive military, look at how many people live in the fucking United States. Yes, we're not like, there's like India and everything that have way more people and everything. And like, I think India technically has like the biggest military. But I think your military corresponds to like how many people you have. But look at the fact that only a small fraction of the U.S. population serves in the military. Like, it would be undeniably like the biggest military ever if the entirety of the U.S. was under the military. But like we're still like one of the biggest militaries, even with a small fraction of our population being in the military. That's a crazy thought to think, in which I think only can really happen inside of like the U.S. That you have the people, that you have the Americans have the ability to not have to serve in their military because of the threat of like the people around them. Like who do we have to fear as the U.S.? We have to fear Canada and Mexico. Mexico is like an iffy, like Canada ain't gonna do shit. But Mexico is like the one. It's like like we can still we don't really have to worry about it. But like EU countries, you'll always have like the fear because you're over there with like, oh shit, this happens. I think military service won't work for the state It's better to make a plan to integrate some kind of faction into the community or the state in a different way. Yeah, I could see it. Like, you could probably have like military states. I could probably see that. You would get so much blowback though from like from like the left side of politics though, like thinking that's like so totalitarian and all this other bullshit. If like certain states like try to label themselves as military states, that they required military service of that. Like if you lived in that state, it was required. You went to like you did like it's like the state guard. It's like each state has their own national guard. Like you had to do national guard training because each state technically has a national guard. Which I think that would maybe work out, is if because you would have places like probably a lot of the mid states would turn them, because like there's not a lot going on in there, like they're very rural areas and everything. I could see many of the mid states turning themselves into military states, like in which that would provide infrastructure to it, because if you like built a state up to be just like a military functional thing, like this is where you like if you wanted to be the part of the military, or you wanted to be like a family in the military, you would move to that state and everything. And like probably you'd get like subsidies as like being able to like, because it would be like a state run, like it'd be sponsored by the government inside of the state, that you would have probably way less taxes and like, or probably very little taxes and everything as you live there, and like you would get like a house given to you and everything, and like you would have a guaranteed home after your service like stint, or while you're serving. I don't know, but after, that'd be like iffy. But it's also like, I also see in the fact that like I see the beauty in it, that the fact that like the U.S. But like I also hate it because like I wish people saw it more. When I like the common sense of the only reason you don't have to serve is because, one, we have one of the biggest militaries. We spend most money on the military, and yet I don't understand the mindset of people that say fuck the military. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, like we would need military, like mandatory military, like for like shit. If America wasn't so like safe in its own like respect.
I got something.
And because you have allies who always take care of you. I mean,
Focus.
I am, fuck, I would like to agree with that, but like, I don't know, if you look at like, there are countries that see it's less of the idea of, at least I feel it's less of like, oh dude, we're allies, don't worry bro, we got each other. It's more of, what can you do for me? That's the way I have always seen it more, rather than like, don't worry, we're brothers in arms. You and me, we believe in the same things. We can live each other. It's more of, hey, I need you for protection so I don't get fucked up. Most of military technology was not developed in America. It wasn't. It really wasn't.
Are you watching?
It's just that the amount of money America has is able to sponsor that research. Like I watched a fat electrician video where like we spent millions of dollars to find out, hey, if you put a scope on a gun, it makes it more accurate. It's like it's one of the biggest funders of like advancing military like tech in a way. It's not so much like R&D, but like more so like the money that goes into it. And then we just like hoard it There's the brains. It's like, yeah, we like when people like boohoo the tariffs and everything. Like, I understand some things. Like, I would like the idea of America made stuff, but I also understand some people's things of like the way of looking at it is like we don't need. I mean, there's certain things I would like America to be more self sufficient in, because it's one of those things we never really know who we're going to go up against. Like, our allies today could not be allies tomorrow.
It's a subspecies.
God damn it.
Not bad. Get ready.
Because, like, everything changes with time. Like,
I got something.
we may be allies with the UK, but all the shit that the UK is doing is really not sitting well with, like, a lot of people. Yet we've like been allies with the UK for the longest time. Like, yeah, it's a lot of things like we were always like, how can we turn enemies into allies? We were enemies with the UK, and now we're friends. We were enemies with Japan, and now we're like Japan's best friends.
Focus. Got one.
But I always looked at it in a weird way, especially growing up,
Job.
is that a lot of other countries like bash the United States and everything, like America. And, like, I'd say, like, oh, we're warmongers and, like, this other shit. And I'm like, but yet, it's more so that we get dragged into everything. Because, for some reason, like, the EU and, like, other countries like to look at the US like we're the big problem solvers of the world. Like, it's a weird, like, juxtaposition that it feels like the world treats us like we're the world government already, yet everyone's also separate. Like, oh, no, like, no, you're not the boss of us, but hey, we're in trouble. Please help us. Please solve this for us.
Get ready.
That's what I find weird. Like, they like, they all hate us until they need us. That's the weird thing, like, where I see, like, we say, like, oh, we have allies. It's not so much that. It's just that I feel like these countries feel that they need us. Like, look at how panicked all those countries were when Trump said, oh, we're not going to be subsidizing all of your country's military from now on. You guys have to step up and start doing your own military shit. And, like, they got the grace of God to, for the many years, not have to worry about military or being like, invaded because America would like cover for them. And I think that's gone like, for once, I think it's better that more countries are stepping up to themselves so that they like have their own individuality.
Color's stunning.
Like, if I decide to collect debts some of the countries, yeah, like that's what I felt. And when the people were so boohooing the tariff, I'm like, I feel like the tariffs are just one. It was just for him to get better deals. It was like a ploy for the put pressure on them to make a better deal with him. And if not, it's a way to make reparations for like all the shit we've already been doing.
Focus.
Because like, even if America has started shit and everything, there's lots of other occasions where like other countries have started shit and like they've always looked to America to like to solve it.
Not bad.
Well, because we're allies. Oh, it's your problem also. I'm like, but we're not there. This isn't happening on U.S. soil. Like, I can kind of understand like when it has to do with like U.S. assets. Like, if U.S. assets were attacked, okay, now we can get involved. But if they're just attacking your country and not touching our shit, I don't feel like we really need to get involved. Because, like...
I got something. It's starting to slow down. Focus. Got one. It's getting tired.
There will be World War III by now. I mean... maybe. I actually have a really good. I kind of feel that because I feel like Putin would have been way more aggressive, and that might have sparked the other EU countries to finally like be pushed enough that they have to act, or just let Ukraine die.
Require rest?
That's the only like. I feel like if we had another thing, we would be like wagging our finger at Putin, but he would probably like just tell us to fuck off. Because he probably knew they wouldn't do anything about it. And I feel like he would have been way more aggressive. And either he would have taken over Ukraine by now. Or like... Or the EU countries would have had to get involved. And then a world war would have started against Russia and everything. I don't connect with him as a president, but he definitely is an amazing president. Yeah. He does... Yeah, he's a weird person, but like I feel like if you're president, you have to be a bit weird. Like I feel like none of our presidents were like normal people. I mean, look at his. You got like, look. What was like he was a real estate guy, and then he was like a comedian / actor, and then he was like he's the president. None of those things like really lead into like being he's good at deal making. That's basically what it is. Is that like the reason why he's like really good now is that he's more of like a business president than like an idealist or like pragmaticist in a way, like how a usual politician would look at everything. Like, because usually if someone's gonna run for like presidency, it's like usually they have some value or ideal. Like they're more of an idealist. Because if you're trying to be a president, usually you have to go through like the channels of mayorship and Congress and it's all of like and like or the military and exactly like to like exactly what you need. Like, that's why I felt we needed somebody that was like a businessman that was like a take no shit thing. Because we've lived in the age of like the pussyfooting around presidents that didn't like. And like Trump being a businessman, I think he understands the weight of the U.S. Like how much weight the U.S. has to throw around. And that's what, like, and, like, my favorite, still one of the favorite moments is when he met with, like, that terrorist group, whatever, and, like, they were trying to step up to Trump, and the man, Trump just coyly handed him a photo of his house. And then he completely turned the situation around by, like, knowing the powers that be that the U.S. has, and knowing that he could do that, and they can't do shit against him. And, like, they just have to be like, well, fuck. Damn, bro. Like, the most, like, aura, like what are you gonna do about it move. Like, and, like a progressive or, like, idealist president would look at that and be like, oh, I can't do that. That seems too aggressive. Or that could backfire on me. Trump just fucking does it. And that's why I feel like a lot of, like, stuff that gets him into trouble, but also does great things, is he is a person that, like, he just goes for it. It's like he's the type of guy that he'll do something and be like, oh, I'll deal with the fallout after.
Focus. Got one. Holy moly! This one's heavy.
And as for what's worth, I think it has changed the atmosphere of the U.S. As long as it's not Epstein files. I mean, what's that lady's name? Exonerate him or whatever. You know, for what it's worth, man.
Do you require rest?
I don't. I get why people want to see it. They like want responsibility. They want action. But like, I don't know. Like, even if the list came out and his name was on it, I'm a type of person like I don't fucking care. like, yeah, okay, he's a diddler. He's a bad person. What, like, is he still doing it? No? Okay. We can demean and make fun of him. Like, you're a bad person. You were on those, you did bad stuff. You were friends with a trafficking rapist. I'm like, it goes as one of those weird things is where I don't like when people like automatically make you a bad person for maybe one bad decision you made in your life. Like, I am a person that I believe in redemption. I'm a person that I believe people have the ability to be redeemed if they choose to be. Like, a murderer can be a normal fucking guy. Like, you could have murdered somebody and then turned your whole life around. There's been many examples of people doing that. And it's so weird to me when people are like, but you murdered somebody, so you're just an evil guy for the rest of your life. I'm like, I feel, yes, he should feel ashamed for that action that they caused. But if you can see that the person made reputable choices in their life to be a better person, I don't see like holding it over for the rest of their life, because for what it's worth, if they're choosing to be a better person for them, they're already doing that to themselves. They don't need you to be doing that alongside it.
Get ready.
But yeah, like something like this, where like it kind of feels like they're trying to hide it, and it's like, and for which like Trump could probably not even be on that list. But it could be that there are names on that list that are very influential people that he like that are like needed. And that's what's weird. I think like partially is why on both sides of the aisle, there's probably names on that list that would give a lot of like heavy hitters inside of the U.S. like very big bad publicity. And like I think that's reasonably why is that it would like destabilize a lot of core infrastructure shit. There are people on these lists who will make a lot more noise than Trump. He's making a mistake by not releasing them. Then like names like Tom Hanks and Oprah. No one will care about him. That for those, I mean, he's the president. The people will make a lot more shit about him than like talk show host or an actor like Tom Hanks. Like they'll use it to shit on Oprah and Tom Hanks, but like he'll be seen more as a like him and like people that like who did they get called? Who got called to be like it was what's her face? The lady Clinton, the Clintons. Like people will shit more on like presidents and past presidents for being on that. Like the Clintons and Trump more than like Oprah or Tom Hanks. But like it's just weird because like there's most likely there's so many influential people like on that list that are not like Oprah, but like are very like probably like CEOs of very like tech companies or like military or like other like very core foundational things that like would mess with like very like pivotal things. That I can see why like the government doesn't want that out. Maybe until all the people like for what it's worth, people.
Do you require rest?
This list won't get released until like I'm in my like 60s or 70s. When all possible people on that list are dead, will they ever finally be like, okay guys, here's the full list? Because there'll be no repercussions for like anyone that was on that list. That no one could like go after them or like they're like not really like everything's like moved past them being like harm to the country. The trouble already stopped. Yeah.
Get ready. I got something.
Also, isn't there a whole big thing? Is that like Trump only like took his planes, he hitched rides on, like he never like Trump never went to the island. He just he just used Epstein's planes as like a travel fare. Wasn't that like all like really like they had?
I got something.
And like, there's probably people that didn't know that didn't know he was doing this bad shit and just ignored it. But there were probably really a lot of people that interacted with Epstein that had no idea about any of this shit. Because like, if you think about any of your like friends, do you know everything that's going on with their life? Except for like maybe what they tell you or show you.
Focus. Got one.
It's like I could see the like reasonably like.
It's getting tired.
Like I can just see like imagine first like imagine I was a rich and famous guy. Like that like a friend of mine was like it's like you're like, oh shit, like there's no road flights to like Miami or I'm like Florida or whatever and go Miami or whatever. And like my buddy's like, oh I think like the like Epstein's planes and like I'm like who the fuck is like who's that? And I'm like, oh he's like this rich mogul guy that like entrepreneur dude that like a lot of other famous people know. That like it's like will he let me to get on his plane to go there? I'm like, yeah, sure, if we ask him, he'd be like maybe like I don't know, he always likes connecting with people. I'm like, all right, sure. Like if you're vouching, that's usually how that goes a lot of times. Is someone will vouch for another person that you know, that they know, that they usually are like, oh, all right, and then you won't. A lot of people won't ask questions more than that because a lot of people don't want to know, and that's where I feel like a lot of people leave out of like conjecture and like thought processes is people don't like asking questions. People are like, oh, I need to do this. So let's just do it and then do it and then not think about it afterward.
Focus.
For the people that went to the island, okay, those people definitely knew. like they like there's no way. I mean, that's kind of hard not to know in that scenario, unless somehow Epstein was like the biggest like jabbermouth that could like somehow like be like, you know, those are just my employees and like do it in a suave enough way that you just didn't. Like Disney will crash because they used to send cruise ships straight to his island. That's what I'm saying. It's like that's a good reason why I think they won't release it until like enough infrastructure or if everyone on that list is dead or so that the blowback or like way that could influence the US's like economy or like critical infrastructure can't be affected. Really, that's the only time I would think they would actually ever give it out.
Got one. Holy moly. This one's heavy. I got something.
Even though people like, I was like, oh, we want the list. We want people to be held responsible. And I'm like, yeah. But like, you also know it's in this day and age that if you have the money, you just get away with shit. And that's just like a universal truth. A lot of people just live in like you have enough money for something, you could make problems go away.
It's a subspecies. Not bad.
Like, oh my god, like look what just happened with the fucking Diddy shit. How the absolute fuck did Diddy get off of his fucking shit? He got the lightest offenses that he was charged with.
Get ready.
If that doesn't prove to you that like if you have the money, the law is not as like applicable to you is the most evident thing. Good lawyers? Yeah, and how do you get those good lawyers? You pay for those good lawyers. You get very autistic lawyers that skim over every piece of detail, looking for any scrap of way to like get out of it, or like put doubt in people's minds or whatever.
Get ready. I got something. It's starting to slow down.
Do you think paid them in baby oil? I don't know, maybe. Fucking entrepreneur and entrepreneur oil. God, I like how I didn't even catch any.
This one's not bad.
I will return with a full.
Let's continue next time. Let's continue next time.
Is this one of those weird things? When like everything points to like everything points to this, yet it's always like the opposite effect. Like the law works in that weird way. Is that the law has to look at shit like objectively rather than emotionally. I mean, that's what you would hope law and everything would look at it. But it's also annoying in that like the littlest misstep could like throw out a case that you know is like dead to rights. Everyone already had morally convicted Diddy as for the like, except for a few people that were always like Diddy did do nothing wrong. But like a lot of the majority of people saw Diddy as guilty, but yet like in the legal system you can like the littlest thing you mess up or something goes slightly wrong or puts doubt in people's mind like can fundamentally ruin that. Runs the world and people are at the top are afraid that things will change, and that's true. That's the most truth you can ever get is that people, because humans are afraid of change. I mean, look at like my example before of the like how afraid the EU was when Trump said he's not going to be paying for their military anymore. They were so scared and afraid of like all the bad shit that was going to happen, and the fact that they had to build up their military and it was all other shit. And like I understand that like change is very scary for human because it's what like we are very confident creatures in normality. Like it's really interesting because humans are very like adaptable, but we're also very like sedentary. Is that if push comes to shove, we can adapt to a lot of different things. But when also given the opportunity to like have mellow like safety and like security, we take it for granted. I feel, which is weird. It's a weird mentality thing overall. Like with that, is that put in a situation where like you have to adapt to be ultra violent or very like aggressive or like that. People can adapt to being that. It might like and that will change people's mindsets and everything. In which I feel like that's kind of happening also now. Like, not to bring up more like political stuff. It's like the people that bring up like the black reparations stuff. We're like, the guys own slaves, so all black Americans need to have like subsidies and all these other things given to them because of them. Like, but that was like 2 generations ago. like, I feel like that's a lot of generations ago. It's like for how many generations? It'll be like 4 to 5 generations, wouldn't it be? Yeah. Because it would have been like grandparent. It'll be like three or four. I can't. It really depends when your family when you are considered. But like, which I could still see there are some things that would be like that. But like, if you're born today, I readily think like you can't really claim reparations. Like, your grandfather or your great-grandfather could, for, like, the shit that happened to them. And then like, it gets into the weird psychology thing where a lot of people were bred to believe, like, that, like, all the white people owned slaves in America. There was, like, 1% of the United States that owned slaves. And then even a good portion of that were black people owning slaves also. And that's why people like, I don't know. It's really weird. Is that we get so much shit for this, but like other countries don't. Like for how many years did like Britain enslave people? Like, I don't. Again, I don't think nearly enough that like England and all that gets shit on for like that reparation stuff. There's still slaves in black countries in Africa today. It doesn't bother anyone. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. Like, I think it goes down to it also. It's like what you're taught and what you know. Because I'm like, if you live in this country, you're only gonna really know what happened in this country. Because a lot of the times people don't really care what's happening in other countries. They care what's happening in their country because it's their immediate effect and immediate like life they have to live. So, like, something like that, when, like, if, like, you're taught that in history or whatever, and, like, and you're like, wow, shit, that sounds terrible. But I feel like that's in selective history, then. If you're not taught, like, the unbridled history of, like, the world before that, I feel it's weird. It's like, if you're not taught, like, that slavery was part of this world for a very long time, and it got until the point of the Americas saying no more, and then America being one of the first countries to say no more to slavery, and then other countries started like following along suit. It's where I feel like a lack of knowledge, I feel like, abates a lot of people. A lot of unknown knowledge and disconstrued knowledge also. Most of our history has been rewritten, unfortunately. It's full of lies. No one knows any solid information, especially not presidents. True. Because history is written by the victor. As long as you're the victor, you get to write what happened. And if you're the victor, there's no way you're going to tell that you were the bad guy all along. Like, it's really funny that the bad guy never really won. If you look at it in history books, the bad guy never won. Because to every bad guy, they are the good guy. No person that does what others would consider evil acts ever thinks of themselves like, dude, wow, I'm evil. The world is controlled by the military industry, and a few very rich people. Yeah, but it's in the thing that there's always way more regular people than them, and I think it really only takes enough people to get sick of it, and for them to push too far for like shit to go wrong, which I feel like it's getting there. The world is getting pushed to such extremes, like if you're seeing what's happening in the UK right now, I feel like the UK is being pushed to such extremes, they're going to have an internal revolt. I I'm counting the days before like I see like some insurrection thing happening inside of the UK where people just get sick of it, being like like pushed too much. Because that's the weird thing about being a leader, is that when you control shit, you have to have a heavy hand and be manipulative, but you have to work that fine balance of being able to give enough for people to like feel comfortable and like appreciate their normality of life without influencing negatively them too much. Because as soon as you start negatively influencing their life, is the time they start turning around and looking at all your deeds and all your thoughts and all the actions you took. Because otherwise, people are ignorant. People will not care. Like the whole thing I said before, people will look the other way. They won't dare to ask questions because their thoughts and their own life is more matter to them than what you're doing. Because like, I'll take myself. I did like until it's kind of fun. Until Trump took office, I did not care about politics or anything that happened with my government. I barely knew who the fucking president was. I did not care who the president was because again, even like I was a kid, but even still, like college a little bit is when I started really caring about it. But before that, why did I fucking care who the president was? It wasn't massive. It was affecting my parents' life more so than me. Like I didn't think about it. And that's, I think, a lot of times what happens when you grow up is that you have to start Sleepy Joe. Yeah. Like dude, I don't know like until like the end when Trump was running. I didn't even know what Joe did. Like I can't tell you anything Joe did. Because at least when Trump was in office, he tweeted out everything he fucking did. Like, anytime something happened, Trump was tweeting it. And that was the most, like, useful of seeing it. I mean, even nowadays, like, he's doing the live streams. Basically, except for putting you in debt, nothing, yeah. Like Trump does the presidential live streams now, where he sits there and like he announces the stuff and interacts with the media and all that stuff. Like that's the most interesting thing. Like that I feel like any president has really like fundamentally done is that he's more he's realized the state of the world and realized that like it isn't just relying on the press to release shit. It's about putting yourself out there. Like tweeting yourself, putting your own videos out there, and like, and letting people know it's there, and like that type of shit, and being entertained. Like for what it's worth, Trump is an entertainer. Like he knows how to make like something that you will care about what he's saying because he makes it entertaining. I'm not for America, and even I see it, but I feel like that's everything. Like for what it's worth, America gives out money and it gives out culture. Like. I feel like every country is always like they hate us, but they're always centered around what is happening in the U.S. Like because a lot of times what's happening in the U.S. Dictates a lot of like what's happening everywhere else. Also, all right, I gotta switch real quick. Burp, 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 burp. Yeah, that's what I feel a lot. Is that you'll see a lot of cultural shit being pushed in other countries too. Like you could go to some random country and like they'll know something about that's what's happening in the U.S. one way or another. And that's kind of like the weird thing, but it is like how many countries will like say they hate the U.S. and everything the U.S. stands for and other stuff. Yet you're still consuming and you're still talking about us. And that's the weirdest. Like, what if you hate us so much? Why do you care so much? It's because you can't. It's because you can't avoid us. Because a lot of what's keeping a lot of what's keeping a lot of countries afloat is the U.S. Their culture is amazing. The music and shows. And I hardly watch local TV anymore. Nah, dude, even here, I don't watch. I don't have a cable box. I don't have a cable. I watch YouTube. YouTube is my TV now. And like I don't think a lot of culture gets spread over here. Like there'll always be American movies in our movie theater, but will I see like an Indian movie or a French movie or like any movies that's in a pop that's not in like a fringe like there are movies and whatever that will come over there, but they're more like in fringe art like fringe film like shows or events or whatever. They aren't like on big blockbuster like event schedules and stuff that will be advertised. Be it like all that stuff will be sent over or like the shows, the music. I mean, France has more of the fashion stuff, but like fashion's a little bit. But like, we don't accept a lot of other, except for video. I guess video games is the only thing I think of is like video games has more of a wide-reaching thing that we do import a lot of other video games because for what it's worth, I mean nowadays, back in the day, not really. We were still the exporter of video games, but now the video game market in the U.S. is fucking dog shit, and more so, other countries have better like stuff in them for video game infrastructure. At least that I feel. I think a lot of other people feel, is because we went for too long of people being captured by like weird ideologies and everything, and like it fucked up storytelling and a lot of what businesses and how businesses are run. Poland is stronger in video games than you? Yeah. They're also, I mean, they're also stronger in their border policy also. They went one step above ours. They're just shooting people if they try to cross their border. What's funny is that that's like the one thing that like it kind of makes me a little bit proud of like of my hair because I'm part Polish, and like that makes me even though I never like actually lived like in Poland or whatever, but yeah, like I have Polish blood. Like that is the one thing that kind of like makes me a little bit proud. Like it's weird. That's one of those weird things to be proud of. But it in its own way, like of seeing Poland take hold of its like when all these other countries were so worried and everything, seeing Poland be like accept it and like understand it and then embrace it, I like really try to like fix themselves. Like that's what makes me like feel like happy about it.
Your fortune seems pretty good lately.
All right. We're almost there. We only have Ben left on main account. We only have Ben left. That's that needs his all his things done.
Time for some hard labor?
And then it's weird to think about. Just in the thought, like where I'm usually a person. I like being able to think ahead and way things will go, and that's the weirdest things that, in the way of like, the world. I just can't see the way the world is going, and that's one of the scariest things to me. Is that like I literally can't even fathom which way the world's going to go. Either the world's just gonna continue to get worse until shit goes wrong, or everything's gonna like mellow out, or things could get better. The better part I don't really foresee. That's why I feel like things are just gonna get worse or they're gonna like be the same, but we're just gonna have to deal with it.
Vanish. Once again, victory shall be mine. Weakling.
Because, like, you know what's gonna really make everything come to a T? I mean, it's gonna be a few years away, and, like, we have those years to go. But, like, I think what really will set a lot of things for the future, at least in the U.S., is we will have to see what overall happens when Trump gets to his end of this term. And if, like, if the person that he's gonna choose as like his successor, however, will carry on what he's doing and like keep the same track that we've been on right now. Because if we just start going flip flopping again, it's going to not be well. Tough years are ahead. Secrets from the military industry will shake things up, but after that, the world will calm down a bit. That's what I think eventually we're getting to the point where we're advancing in AI and the robotics a lot now. We're gonna start being the old sci-fi movies where we're just gonna start fighting shit with robots. We're gonna be like, well, human lives are too expensive for war, so we're just gonna create robot armies to fight each other with instead. Well, we're gonna have cyborg humans first. They're gonna they're gonna like cyborgify like people first, and then use those as like super soldiers, and then eventually we're gonna morph that out into just fighting each other with robots. It's already happening in the world. I mean, true. I mean, yeah, you have like the robot, but I mean like T-1000, like those type of like, or like like stuff from like mechas. You know, if we turn the world into mecha fighting, you know, at least I feel like wars are gonna be more fucking disastrous, but they'll look cooler. So, this is how we solve every debate in the world now. All right, the two leaders get inside your mechs, fight each other. Whoever comes out on top wins. There are robot dogs, drones, and action robots. Regarding large robots, Japanese already built some. I think I've seen some of that. But I also think we're not far away from people trying to create like cyborgs too. I think we're like we make fun of people that get like robot arm like get like the robot arms or whatever to like for their blown off limbs and everything as like cyborgs. But they technically are. But I think eventually like we are going to get like people that are gonna like go into like a cybernetic program to like come in super soldiers and shit. Like I feel like that's also going to happen. I mean, Elon Musk is working on this for sure. Yeah, I mean he's working on the brain chip. Elon's trying to get to Mars. He's trying to be the king of Mars. Like all his industry shit is like, it's like really like if you actually like looked at this and like someone explained this to me and I was like it actually sounds very solid that all of his industries that he's gone into has very much fundamentally gone to his ideal of wanting to get to Mars and like the Red Skull. Yeah. Because like he has like the self-driving, the AI, the like he has like a mining company. Like he has a lot of stuff that if you think about it, he's building a lot of infrastructure shit for like being able to terraform and like be able to like have like Mars, because like the most likely thing is that he would be able to do is send up like create a big enough robot, like a robot that can do shit by itself and be pre-programmed for shit, like do like the iRobot thing of to send like a truckload of them to Mars and have them autonomously just start building infrastructure in Mars before you would ever send humans there. He's trying to get out of here before the real mess starts. I mean, true. I mean, I feel like that's everyone. But like, I mean, you can only be like this. That's also like the idealism of a lot of people of being the first. Like you could say, oh, the guy was the first person on Mars, but like you could be like, I was the first person to like colonize Mars, like, and then his name would go down in history, and that's a lot. Someone like Elon would love is for his name to go down in history as like the first the person that colonized Mars, or it was like the first Mars emperor or some shit. Emperor Musk. May the red sun ever set upon his glory. The first man on Mars is going to die. Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to be the first person there, but he's going to send people there first, before he himself is going to like live there, and then he'll set himself up as like the Emperor of Mars or whatever. Like his city will be called X. Welcome to X City. Because you know, like stuff like that, like you could easily like do all that robot shit, make it all like so that it's all set up for human, but you don't know until you would get there if anything could go wrong, and that's going to be like a trial and error thing of like all the infrastructure could be built, but something could have slightly gone wrong or whatever that would then need to be fixed. But Elon's still scared of the whole military industry. I think he has the vague idea of what's coming, and it freaks him out. I mean, true. I mean, if you're a tech guy like that, you probably have some insides. Like you will have some insides of people who will being able to tell you shit. And which is why I think he really pushed for like the Doge stuff. I feel like that's why he pushed for Doge. Because he probably saw the rot and like how abusive some of that stuff would get, so he wanted to try as much as he could to like hamper that.
Your fortune seems pretty good lately.
How can I help?
It's no coincidence they're suddenly holding hearings at UAPs and similar stuff. I forgot what you. I don't know that acronym. I feel stupid. I feel stupid. I don't know what that acronym is. Although I probably shouldn't, because it's probably a military term that I have no reason for knowing. New word for UFOs. Oh. What? What? New world. Yes, I like the new world. New world for. Wait, what is that? What does that stand for then? It's still still unidentified. Was it not scientific enough that the unidentified flying object, was that not scientific enough that they had to change it? Was it, what is it now? Unidentified aeronautical plane?
How can I help?
No, 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 no. Well, oh, what the fuck? Unidentified anomalous phenomena? Sorry for the long. No, it's fine. What do you mean? What do you mean long messages? There only been like 3 to 4 lines. It's not really that long. Yeah, it's unidentified anomalous phenomena. What the fuck? That's like this. Wait, isn't that shit of like SCP? What the fuck? Are they just using SCP dialogue now? I feel like now that I've actually said out loud, UAP. Wait, I've heard UAP a lot in like media now. I guess yeah, like they are using that for more so because it's been used in like I think SCP and like other science fiction stuff. Now that I think about it. Well, I always thought it was like a different like alter world like thing in their own stuff. A lot of UAP too thing like a lot of like UFO stuff was always unidentified like aircraft before like it got released to like everybody knowing about it. I mean, there's also the thing that like I always questioned why Trump created the Space Force too. Also, like they changed the name because the suspicions about the origin of these aerial and naval craft. They don't think they're from other planets. No, yeah, a lot of them have been proven that they were like test aircraft of of other countries or whatever. Like they were like testing weird shit. I don't know. I still also believe in Trump's Space Force. I still believe. It's like we're preparing for the inevitability. All right. 35. We might do like one match. Will probably like take us into the 2 hours. They waste the money. It's actually a big deal for security. Alright, yeah. Because, like, what was the old saying? Like, back in the World War II, if you controlled the skies, you controlled the ground. So, like, now I feel like it's getting into the point, if you control the space, you control the air, which controls the ground. Because I feel like even if people didn't admit it, I feel like some country has tried to develop like a rail cannon, like those like shit from like that science fiction about like the space lasers, or like shooting like spiked rods from space. That come from other dimensions? What? Dude, we're going interdimensional now? What the fuck? Dude, I've been playing Abiotic Factor. I'm ready to deal with like other dimensions. I don't want to see what comes from the poop dimension. Also, it really depends what you mean to like dimension, like the idea of like the fourth dimension in that way, or do you mean like parallel world dimensions? There's a lot of different like connotations for dimensions, like a way of like split universe theory and like
Victory favors those who maintain their composure. A balanced mix of offense and defense.
so a lot of that depends on how you define dimensional. It's more complex. Basically, imagine a submarine that could change its frequency and appear in our reality. So you mean like transmigration? Okay, so that's that type of. Yeah, because a lot of theory has gone into like that. Of that, a lot of dimensional stuff is like is dealt with frequency, because like that's how a lot of shit was like heard through like radio waves and everything back in the days, through the complexity of like radio frequency and tuning the different frequencies. Because you could shift a lot. You could shift matter too. Like matter shifts quite heavily when you could change that.
A balanced mix of offense and defense.
Yeah, because like it's a lot of like matter shifting has been like accredited to like frequency changes. Like you could change the matter by changing the frequency it fluctuates at. But yeah, for doing something on a vessel, that's quite unheard of. Like because it has been theorized about that. It's just that any type of biological matter that would do that would have to have its like entire structure rearranged. If you're into this topic, there's a group called the Stars Academy that's deeper into it. But I'm skeptical since some of it sounds like sci-fi. For what it's worth, a lot of science fiction is still partially based inside of reality. Like science fiction has to be based on, like, it may be science fiction, but there's still science somewhat. So like some of the core root of what they try to exemplify is core science. That's why that's quite hard to like distinguish in a way. Because I'm very much a science, like I have a degree in forensic science, So like I had to take a lot of science courses. So like I was very heavily like into the sciences and like understanding certain like a lot of things with that came with it. Pentagon people that they're about other dimensions and who knows. I mean, true. That's what like. That's when you don't really like fully know in that scenario.
Can the formation be symmetrical?
Decided to make the Greys. Oh no, I've never been one to like fearmonger over the idea of aliens. Wow, I was wow, I'm getting incredibly lucky with those. Holy shit. Damn. Yeah. I probably should have pumped to get the 5, but I mean, I still got the second. I don't know. I've never been like one to really harp on like, oh, we get the media. Like, I don't know. It's either it's going to be beneficial to us or we get destroyed. I'm very pragmatic in that way. Of like, whichever happens, like, well. Alright, still one. Nice. And if like, and if anything was ever going to like semi-unite the world, it would be us versus aliens. So, or other dimensional beings. In your case, where you describe, like that would be like the one thing that I feel like would unite the world. If like, because you know, it's the one thing that humans have always been good at is that we are very much willing to unite with each other when we have a common enemy. When you feel like everyone is threatened, is when we will pull everything to like fight it. And for what it's worth, if they don't immediately destroy us, we're also we're very good at creative stuff during wartime. When war happens and we push comes to shoves, is usually when the best technology we create comes out of it. Best case, life gets better. Worst case, we get kind of probed by aliens. I mean, some people will be into that. Yeah, you might end up like a space prince's pet, or you can put it in a zoo. I think life in a human zoo wouldn't be that bad, because they would probably make it just like Earth. we wouldn't know the difference. Except we just wouldn't have to be paying taxes anymore. You know what? For what it's worth, it'd probably be better if we got put into a human zoo. It would probably be better for a lot of people in their lives. No paying for money. You get food given to you. You just got to entertain people when they come in. It's a nice life. It's very simple. You ever see those I saw like those TikTok stories, whatever. When people would read fake stories that like that there is like a space federation out there, but like we don't know about them because we haven't gone to the stars yet, and whenever we do, they probably will contact us because whenever we would possibly run into them. But the reason they have never come to like Earth or whatever is because Earth was like labeled like a death world or whatever. I love that concept. Sorry. I love that concept, the idea of there being aliens out there, and the only reason they never came to Earth or whatever because we're labeled like a death world. That like our atmosphere is like deadly or whatever to like certain people, or like this is how humans are very like unconclusive to like other races. I love that thought. I mean, it makes humans sound like very badass in that way. The Milky Way is pretty isolated, surrounded by asteroids. It's really hard to reach us. I mean, I feel like you would have like deflector shields and all that other shit to like push through asteroid belts. If like you're a seafaring race, like I feel like if you're a seafaring race, you would have built technology to get through asteroid belts. Because like I feel like it's just stupid if you didn't. If like you're still like hampered by asteroid belts if you're a seafaring race. I mean, that could also be true in your way of like they like imagine like a cataloger came to his world like back in like maybe dinosaur times or even maybe before that, and like right when the atmosphere like was being created on the planet or whatever, and like saw it as like a death world, as like oh this place is uninhabitable to like any race that's congruent to like their knowing, so they're like labeled death world and like alright we don't ever have to come back to this sector ever again because what's the point, and like we've just been left alone because of like factoring that they did think nothing could ever live here. So the huge gap between our galaxy and the rest of the universe. The way the physics works, by the time they get there, we'll be long gone. Yeah. But that's the idea of like using like wormholes and like all that other stuff that would do time dilation in that way. And like traveling faster than light speed and everything because like was the speed of light doesn't factor in time, or in a small degree it does in a way. I mean, even that fact, like we don't like it is. We've discovered, at least in our own universe, like how rare it is a planet that is able to sustain life like ours is. Like we've rarely found like any planets that could ever be like suitable, like inside of like our own like congruent to what we consider habitable. I mean, maybe NASA stopped lying and altering photos. We would actually learn something. I've always just I as a kid used to always think like, oh, NASA's so cool, and like doing the space thing. But as I got older, like I just felt like NASA was stupid. I don't know, they got stupid and incompetent. I don't know why. Like their biggest achievement was going to the moon. I don't think NASA's done shit since then, really. Until like Elon started doing shit, I feel like until Elon started doing his rocket shit. Like that's the only other time I really heard about like improvements in rocket technology, and not in the way of like military use, but like propulsion and like space travel. That's like the only that's the, like in my many years of life, hearing about like anyone that like move improvements in space technology. All their Mars photos are just taken on Earth. I mean, yeah, you could easily fake that. There are places on Earth that like do very much match the surface of Mars. There is like the red sand, not the Sahara. I forget where there is red sands on this planet. I know that for a fact. I'm a graphic designer. It takes me 5 minutes to make a photo like that. See, that's what hard when we get technology like this, and that stuff. Like, you could say stuff like that now. That's why, like, the older you go, is like the more reliable things get because we didn't have the technology to be able to do shit like that. Where like technology wasn't like adequate enough to be able to like do shit, so people couldn't say like, "Well, the doctor did." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, like it's easy to say that now when you actually have the ability to do like when then back then when they didn't have like technology to do those things is the most reliable really they ever had of like stuff actually happening." No. All right, well, we hit the 2 hour mark though. That was one of the most interesting static streams I had in a while. Holy shit, that was a lot of. My throat's like kind of dry from like hurting from talking so much. Holy shit. Oh shit, I do have the dentist tomorrow also, fuck. I'll have to see if I'm fucked up from the dentist tomorrow. If stream stream will be late anyway. Tomorrow. If I still have the ability to be able to do it, if I'm not too fucked up from the dentist. So, I mean, you'll see. Either I'm not fucked up enough and I'll stream tomorrow, or I'm too fucked up and I'm just gonna lay down and like suffer through the pain from the dentist. And then, like I said yesterday, I'm going on vacation. Well, for the weekend to go visit my friends in Michigan. So I won't be here this weekend. So there won't be any streams Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Well, I'll be back on Tuesday. To like recap things and talk about my trip, if y'all care. But I really enjoyed today. There were very interesting topics today. It's always fun. It's always fun talking to you, Chris. It's like I enjoy it a lot. It's always fun. I love topics. Like, I love deep thinking topics. But that be as it may, we've reached the end. So I'd like to wish you and anyone else a happy Tuesday. And I hope you have a good day. Bye. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.